legislature. The Herbert W. Stein Memorial Park along the Cucaulin River in Monitor Township is slated to receive $269,000 to expand access to the river. The funds will help renovate the parking lot and canoe kayak launch at the park while adding new features, including a second canoe kayak launch, paths, a pavilion, park benches, and informative signs by the river. State funding will supplement existing resources. The Boys and Girls Club of Great Lakes Bay Region is also on the docket for some extra funding. The organization may receive $400,000 to help it maintain and improve its Bay City facilities with a variety of building and grounds projects, such as improvements to athletic facilities, technology, and the kitchen. Phase 2 of the City of Saginaw's West Holland Avenue reconstruction project started yesterday, closing the road to through traffic between North Woodbridge and North Hamilton. The project is expected to wrap up by September 30th. Traffic will be detoured around the work site, and although access for emergency vehicles will be maintained, the City of Saginaw is urging residents to use alternate routes if possible. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. During this year's upcoming open enrollment period, Michiganders will have more than 300 health plans to choose from, giving them more flexibility in the coverage they need to protect their health and the health of their families. This information comes from proposed rates filings sent by the health insurers to Michigan Department of Insurance and Financial Services. Open enrollment for 2023 health coverage will run from November 1st through December 15th this year. Michiganders can obtain coverage by visiting the Health Insurance Marketplace or calling 800-318-2596. During open enrollment, consumers will be able to choose from 233 health plans on the marketplace, 59 more than last year. For the overall individual market, which includes off-marketplace plans, 308 plans will be available, 52 more than last year. If you're looking for a safe neighborhood to live in, look for a place with a lot of dog walkers. Here's health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights.
Neighborhoods with more dogs had lower rates of homicide, robbery, and aggravated assaults compared to areas with fewer dogs. The study from Ohio State University found neighborhoods with a lot of dogs had about 2/3 the robbery rates and about half the homicide rates compared to areas with fewer dogs. Researchers say people walking their dogs are essentially patrolling their neighborhoods by putting more eyes on the street, which can discourage crime.
Alcohol is being blamed for fights that broke out on the beach in South Pier at Grand Haven State Park, forcing police to close areas on the 4th of July. The DNR's Andrew Lundberg says that several hundred people were crowded on the beach when the fights broke out. One person was arrested for assaults, but there were no serious injuries. DNR officers say they believe alcohol played a big role in the fights, even though it is banned at the state park. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Partly sunny for today. Highs top out near 76 degrees. Winds east-northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows drop to 61. Winds will be fairly light. Thursday, partly sunny. Shower chances continue. Highs approach 80. Winds east-southeast around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy to mostly clear. Lows fall back to 63. And then Friday, an abundance of sunshine and highs reach 78. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko.
Right now, it's 69. Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, during the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to a couple of United States Marines who are recruiters in this area. And then coming up at 11 o'clock on Focus this morning, we'll talk to Gail Fromm from the Resource Center. But for this hour, we have a couple of guests in studio. We're going to talk about health and do it from the standpoint of a public health department, in this case, Bay County, because the health officer of Bay County, Joel Strasz, is in studio with us this morning, and we say good morning to him. Joel, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for coming down this morning. And also with him this morning, the former mayor of Bay City, former state representative, we say good morning to Charlie Brunner. Charlie?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. He didn't want to talk at all, folks, but he's in my court now. We'll talk to him later on.
That's unusual for a politician to say he didn't want to talk, right?
Ex-politician. So now you can talk all you want.
Yeah.
That's right. Joel, let's start with, how can we not start with COVID and where we're at today with COVID from the standpoint of the Bay County Health Department in terms of numbers. Have we finally gotten beyond the point of saying that COVID's a pandemic and it's going to take a lot of lives?
Yes and no.
I knew that was coming.
Okay. So I preface it by always saying, like, we're entering our senior year of COVID. We're going into the fourth year coming up in 2023. It hasn't gone away. It's not going away. We can't wish it away. We can't just ignore it. And we've, from the original strain back in 2020 to where we're at right now, and just in the previous news clip, they talked about the two different strains that are taking over, BA4 and BA5. Those are more contagious. It looks like BA5 is more pathogenic, so it makes you sicker. It's going to probably go into the lungs in comparison to Omicron, which was mainly in bronchial tracheal system. So it has potential to be more problematic, more people in the hospital, more people dying. But there are certain things that, we've learned a lot in 2.5 years and that we can do. It's just like, number one, get vaccinated. Number two, keep your health up. And that's the reason why we're here today, is talk about people getting healthy and staying healthy. And, there are some simple things that you can do to really stave off serious disease.
I want to come back to this, but I have to ask this question because we hear this term all the time, stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
As we get older, and I'm 79 years old, I'm older than both of you youngins. But anyway, as we get older, obviously we have foibles that catch up with us.
Sure.
How do you define healthy?
Well, I mean, health is a spectrum, of course. There are some people that never seem to get ill, and then there are people that seem to be ill all the time. And with COVID, it seems that the people that have underlying conditions tend to suffer much more greatly with the disease than people that are relatively healthy. But all that being said, if you're overweight, if you've got an underlying condition like heart disease, diabetes, COPD, the spectrum of things, the older that you are, the more likely you're going to get severe disease. So taking all that into account, there are certain things that you do on a daily basis. I mean, it's like, you're 79 years old. You wouldn't be here if you didn't take care of yourself. And it's those.
That's questionable.
But I mean, you do, and that's the thing, is as long as you're taking care of yourself. Now, what does taking care of yourself mean? And that means that, you're trying to eat right. You're getting exercise.
Okay, let's see. I don't do that.
You're getting enough sleep.
But
But there are people, but there are tons of people that just don't
Yeah.
do that at all. They don't take their medicines like they're supposed to. They don't see a doctor on a regular basis. Some people can't
Yeah.
see a doctor on a regular basis because they don't have one or they don't have the means to do
Yeah.
so. So,
And it's interesting because these underlying conditions, it's estimated something like a third of the country has type 2 diabetes,
Mhm.
somewhere along those numbers. Just having it, though, doesn't mean you're vulnerable, right? Because, I'm a type 2, but my A1C is 6, so it's well
Yeah.
controlled. And then there are type 2s who are 8, 9, 10, 11,
So you hit the nail on the head right there. You're taking care of yourself. If your A1C is 6, you're doing the right thing. You're taking care of yourself.
My body's doing the right thing because I'm not.
So, but if your A1C was 12, 13,
Yeah.
Then you're more likely to be in trouble. So, and that's part of the message is that you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to boost your health.
All right, so let's move away from the 79-year-old and let's move to the 6-month-old and young children. Where are we now with administering vaccines to them?
So Pfizer and Moderna was approved for the 6-month through 4 years of age. We are actively offering those vaccinations for people that want to get their children vaccinated. There's not quite a big of a demand with the vaccine because there are perceptions that, kids don't get that sick with it. It doesn't really mean. Here's the thing with it is that it is a parent's choice, but it's, we actively encourage people to get their children vaccinated. You're 6 times more likely to have serious problems with COVID than you are, say, the flu, for children. So it's a very serious thing. I know of a number of cases where children have gotten seriously ill. Some of them have actually had to go down to Detroit to be treated. But it doesn't quite happen as frequently as it does with older adults or with people with underlying health conditions.
We mandate vaccinations for children going to school to cover a myriad of things that we've developed over the years.
Yeah.
Do you see the day when this is going to be mandated within that series of vaccines for children?
I think the political climate right now probably says not anytime soon, i.e. the next 2 years or so. And I also think that, too, vaccines are evolving as well. There are a couple of, we had talked about, should you get your booster and what are your choices? And right now for the choices in your booster, you've got basically Pfizer and Moderna. They're coming out with no more Omicron specific boosters. But then there's another third contender coming out fairly soon, which is Novovax, which we thought was going to be available 2 years ago, but it's a non-mRNA based vaccine. It's been approved throughout the world. It's very easy to store.
Can you mix it?
And administered. I haven't gotten that. I don't know if that's going to be allowed to happen. But I will say this is that all reports say that it's a lot more tolerable than mRNA vaccines as far as side effects go. And Novavax is also claiming that it does pretty well against the upcoming variants. So
what determines side effects? I mean, I've had the 2 basic shots and a booster. I haven't had the second booster yet. I have no reactions, none whatsoever. The only reaction I had was the very first shot. I was a little sore for about an hour.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yet I know people, including a friend of mine who is very healthy, a law enforcement officer in great shape. It laid him out for a day and a half. What happens? Is it everybody's system is so different?
It really depends on where your system is on a certain day, but it's also your body's immunological response to the shot that's given. So when you have a reaction, that's your body's immune system kicking in and actually making the vaccine work. So that's a pretty good thing. It's not so much of a good thing as a guy who went through heck on when I had my second Pfizer shot, I was down for the count for about a day and a half.
It was his second shot too that laid him out.
And but after that I was fine. I, to my knowledge, haven't gotten COVID yet. If I did, I may have had a asymptomatic case, but that is your body's immunological response to that. So
it seems to me that we're reaching a point where COVID is just going to be another illness like flu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, is that the world has moved on, and the world continues. And so the world continues, and COVID's a part of it. It's not like COVID was the thing and the world had to stop.
Last question before I have to take a break here. But given the fact that these new variants are so transmissible, but the symptoms are so much less, in a way, is that a good thing that more and more people have contracted COVID and have built up immunity now? Is that going to actually help in the long run?
It does and it doesn't. So
another one of those.
No, because here's the thing with it did for a while, and then the way that the variants are evolving. So with Omicron, the first couple of variants with Omicron, it was a milder version. As I said before, it didn't go down into the lungs, and it was a much more wilder illness. People were out of the hospital. What's worrying about BA5? No, there's BA4 and BA5. If they're race cars, I would put your money on BA5 because that's the one I think is going to become dominant here. That it has more immunological escape. So that means that you're more likely to get symptomatic illness, even if you've been vaccinated, and even if you've had prior infection too. So it doesn't matter. It has more tendency to infect. The other problem with BA5 is that it looks like it tends to settle more down in the lungs than the original Omicron variants. And so there's more potential for severe illness and disease.
We're going to hear news stories about the need for more respirators again.
I don't think so. No, we're not in that situation. And that's the thing, is that we've evolved a long way. We know we have a lot of things that we can do outside of vaccines, and we know how to manage this. And one of the key things, as I said to people before, is look, if you are sick, number one, go get tested. And then number two, please stay home.
All right. We'll come back and talk more about this. We're also going to talk to Charlie Brunner, who's in studio with us this morning. We're talking to Joel Strasz. He's the health officer for Bay County and their public health department. We will be back with more after these notes.
Consider a move to Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw.
There's a huge amount of trust that's built in that process of deciding where you're going to move, when you're going to sell your house. It's important when you walk into a place that you look around. Do the residents look happy? Are the staff interacting with them? How were you treated when you walk through the door? This is the next step to your journey. I want to give the right recommendation. I want to lead these people in the right direction. They've trusted me.
Schedule a tour today at wellspringlutheran.com.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease,
asthma, diabetes,
and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42,
you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
No need to fill the tank. There's plenty of summer fun right around the corner. The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. Concerts, movies, festivals, and much more taking place throughout downtown Saginaw and the riverfront area. There's something for everyone. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report. The Federal Reserve releases the minutes from its recent meeting today, offering some background on its interest rate increases. Tyson Foods is expanding in the Middle East, buying a stake in Supreme Foods Processing and ADC based in Saudi Arabia. Supreme produces chicken and beef distributed across the Middle East. You'll be able to take a cruise without a test. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings says it will no longer require pre-boarding COVID-19 testing for its guests unless required by local regulations. The company says the new policy takes effect August 1st across its Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania, and Regent Seven Seas cruises. Norwegian says the change is in line with the rest of the travel, leisure, and hospitality industry. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Big news. Greta Van Susteren is back, and she's on Newsmax. Tune into Newsmax at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight to watch The Record with Greta Van Susteren and get the real news. Plus, check out the new lineup of Rob Schmidt, Eric Bowling, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable and streaming platforms. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them and demand it. And download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fly ball, right field, fairly deep. Looking up, gone! Two-run shot for Eric Haas. The bat's heating up, number 7.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you. And in studio with me is Joel Strasz. He is the health officer for the Bay County Health Department. And Charlie Brunner, former mayor of Bay City and former state rep, is also with us this morning. We'll get to Charlie in just a couple of minutes here. But let's talk about, we talked about youngsters 6 months to 4 years. Those between that 4-year period and 18, for example, they've been included in the vaccine for how long now? Quite a while.
Yeah, almost 2 years now. Well, I should say year and a half.
So what do you tell skeptics, people that won't go anywhere near the vaccine? They don't trust it, not enough time in development, all of those things.
Yeah, if you're not going to get the vaccine, then, make sure that you're taking care of your health. Because as I said before, it's like, COVID doesn't discriminate between vaccinated and non-vaccinated people. It's obviously your choice to be vaccinated or not vaccinated, but it's also your choice to keep yourself healthy as much as possible. And so, as we were talking about before the break there, it's like, hey, there's certain simple things. People have what I call COVID amnesia. They forget to do the right things at sometimes. It's like, if you're coming down with a cold, probably a good idea, especially if you haven't been diagnosed, to go get yourself checked out and get a test. And you can get a home test, do it right in your home. Yeah. You don't have to go to a doctor.
I want to ask about those.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask about their reliability. We have at home, and we've used them.
Yep.
The ones the government sent out,
mm-hmm.
And we've had some that have been store-bought.
Yeah.
What's their reliability?
They're pretty reliable, anywhere from about 89 to 95% reliable. And the difference between a home test, which is an antigen test, and a PCR test is where the one where they take the swab all the way back to your throat, is the antigen test tells you about gives you a good picture of, are you contagious today? So the question you're asking yourself of, am I not only positive, but am I contagious today? Whereas that PCR test is just looking for the DNA of the virus. It could be live, it could be dead. You may have already had the virus, or you might have an active infection, but you can't tell that from a positive DNA or positive PCR test. You're just going to see whether or not that's positive or negative. That antigen test, like I said before, is going to tell you in no uncertain terms, am I positive, and more importantly, am I contagious to others?
Okay, so here's the scenario, and this happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
My wife tests positive. Waits till the next day, does it again, tests negative.
Okay.
What is it telling us?
Well, it probably was that she had she had an infection, but the infection had gone down significantly from there. So the antigens have obviously reduced. So as I said before, what it's testing is the amount of virus that's in your system. And, the more virus you have, the more contagious you are. So I guess my question to you was, there's two lines. It's kind of like a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Where they pretty dark was the one line kind of light and faint.
Yeah. The blue line was quite visible. The pink line was sort of faint. And then the next day there was no pink line.
Yep. So that tells me that she was positive on the one day, and then that the virus had gone down enough and she had recovered enough on the following day that she took that she wasn't contagious anymore. So it wasn't a false positive. It was just caught it at the right or wrong time, depending on how you look at it.
But the reliability is there on those.
The reliability is good on those.
And how dependent on that is how you do it too. I mean, you've got to get in there and tells you to, swipe it around a few times and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Follow the directions.
So the other thing too is, the CDC has produced guidance where they tell you, you can go back into the wild after 5 days of quarantining or isolating. It's not the greatest the way that they put it out. It's actually pretty confusing. It's actually
that's been the history, hasn't it?
It has.
During the 2 years of the serious COVID. I mean, that's been the history of the government.
If there's one thing I could have the CDC do over again is their messaging, because it is quite often confusing for people and for local health departments and such. But
to the point where it's detrimental, because I think a lot of people don't believe it.
True. And that's the thing too with the 5 days, is that it's actually 5 days from the time that you either start having symptoms or test positive if you're asymptomatic. And then they say once you significantly recovered, and they don't tell you what significantly recovered means, but it's also what we're finding is a lot of people are still positive and contagious after, on day 5. So really we want them to test around day 5 and day 6 and day 7. Usually by day 7, day 8, they're negative and they can go back to the general public.
If I hear the government advise 5 days, and I say to myself, well, I think maybe I'm going to call my health officer. Joel, what's the recommendation of the health department?
My recommendation is that stay home until you're recovered, which means that you don't have a fever anymore, that you don't have major symptoms going on, and that you also, if you can, take a home test and see if that home test is negative. And as soon as that home test is negative after the 5 days, then you can go back out.
That's sort of the break point. That's the key.
Yeah.
A negative test.
Mm-hmm.
Who's administering vaccines now? Is it moved to the health department's responsibility, or are they everywhere?
There's a lot of health departments are still doing that. Some hospitals are, but not so much as they used to be. The big box pharmacies and even like Myers and Kroger's are doing a heck of a job in distributing those vaccines. And we've got local doctors' offices too that are doing that. But it's hard especially if you get the mRNA vaccines, they have to be stored a certain way. And a lot of small doctors' offices don't have the capacity to do that. So
yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We'll talk more with Joel Strasz. We're also going to talk to Charlie Brunner when we return, former mayor of Bay City and state rep, and all of that is ahead.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But You have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Why can't Michigan students be the best educated in the world? Why can't the state that put the world on wheels have the best roads? Why can't Michigan be the manufacturing capital of the United States? I believe we can. My name is Tim Kelly, and as state representative, I cut through Lansing regulations every day. Now I'm running for state senate, and I'm primed to get our state back on track. Michigan has been held back by Lansing's red tape for far too long. Let's give Michigan a chance again. Paid for by Tim Kelly for state senate.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver packages fast and affordably so you can give your customers what they want when they need it. We're delivering for one-stop shops, mom and pops, pop-ups, startups, retail, wholesale, large scale, small biz, big box, customers, customizers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at usps.com/delivering.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse Summer Festival. It would normally cost you $30, but you are getting it for $15. The Vino Wine Warehouse features over 1,000 retail wine items, 16 draft craft beers, a full liquor section, and a unique modern menu featuring a lot of appetizers at low Bay City prices. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full?
Juwan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes.
What's MPEG?
But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin.
It says render failed. What I do?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Summer is officially here. The perfect time to save some money. And why pay full price when you know you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Applied Training Solutions, Style Encore, 1UP Games and Repairs, Daylight Outfitters, 120 Fitness, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Uh-oh, the celebrities are turning on Joe Biden.
Why?
Most of them haven't worked in 10 years anyway, so.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you here in studio talking to Joel Strasz. He is the health officer for the Bay County Health Department, but we're going to have Joel just sit there for a couple of minutes because I can't not talk to this guy. Charlie Brunner, you will remember, was the former mayor of Bay City and state representative, and just a gentleman in the world of politics is the way I would describe it. Today, Charlie, first of all, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Secondly, want to run for office?
No thanks, sir. Not in this political climate.
What's happened?
I don't know. I really don't know. Back when I was in the state legislature, I went down there ready to roll up my sleeves and work with whoever wanted to get things done. And I quickly found out that, and that's probably 10 years ago now that I first began my stint in state politics. And I just kind of felt like I didn't fit down there. Like everything, it was, even back then, things were so partisan. It was frustrating.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's a sad commentary. And the thing that worries me the most, where are we going to get young people that want to go into this as a profession?
Well, yeah. Given the climate, even just it just seems like there's such hatred from each party, just going after each other, and just, I don't know, just terrible campaigns that go so negative with vitriol.
Well, the unfortunate thing, and I hate to say this, but it's true. The reason we have negative campaigns is they work.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be responding to them.
Sure they do. Yeah.
Somebody is responding to them, and the more they work, the more they do them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's refreshing every now and then to see an ad for a politician who says nothing about their opponent, just telling you what they would like to see done,
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen very often.
No.
What got you into politics?
Well, it's interesting. I started as a city commissioner, and there was a city manager at the time that was very controversial, and was doing some things that some people didn't like. And so I was, you haven't mentioned this, in my previous life, or my career that I always point to when I got to Florida, I'd never say I was in politics. I always tell my wife to say I'm a retired school teacher. My background is actually in marketing. I taught marketing for 30 years. So I was very happy as a high school teacher at Midland Dow High School. And some people just encouraged me to get into politics. And so I ran as a city commissioner. And I didn't run some people think I ran to fire the city manager. I actually got into it thinking, okay, the city manager will learn if the complexion of the commission changes, you need to change with the commission. Well, that city manager didn't, and ended up getting fired, but that's a whole nother story. So from there, as a matter of fact, the first year I was in politics, I told my wife, I said, I don't like this. I want to quit. And she talked me out of it, and I stuck it out. And then I was a city commissioner for 6 years. I was mayor for 3, and then state rep for 6.
Right.
But I am out of politics now. I'm not a politician. I'm a retired school teacher.
That's good. I like that. As you look at Bay City today and how it operates compared to when you were in, where is it on the scale of progression, so to speak?
Well, it's a very good question, and one of the things that we're sorely lacking is communication from the city to the residents. And the way that they're lacking is they used to be on television. I was surprised at the number of people when I'd be knocking doors and campaigning that would recognize me and say, "Oh yeah, I saw you on TV," and I'm like, "Geez, you watch those meetings?"
The meetings were televised?
Yeah, the meetings were televised. So they dropped, and I was very disappointed when they dropped the contract with Bay 3 TV, and of course, there's no local newspaper. So and WSGW used to be at every meeting also. I'm not sure if they are anymore.
They still cover quite a few, but
John
Hall
retired.
John retired. Bill Hewitt retired.
He did a great job for WSGW. He was at all the meetings, always got the quotes from the commissioners and the mayor. And so there was great communication. People really knew what was going on. And I think they felt more like they were kind of in tune with the city and kind of running the city.
We do have Dana Muscat's on pretty regularly with me.
Yeah.
At least once a month,
Sure.
she'll come on and we chat about whatever she wants to talk about.
Sure.
But times have changed, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's a different world.
Yeah, they sure have.
And then the bridges. Leave that alone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the tolls that are coming. at some point,
coming.
but-
Yeah, that's there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. But otherwise, life is good for you.
Yes, very much so. As a matter of fact, I'm working part-time for the health department, using my my marketing background to try to reach out and getting this guy out of the office to, as you can tell, he's got a wealth of knowledge about and can answer the questions and debunk the myths about COVID. And not only that, you alluded to the the childhood immunizations that are required. There's quite a number of them, and the health department provides all those services. And that's what I'm trying to let people know, that they can access that information on the health department website, or they could call and ask questions, call and make appointments for immunizations, vaccines, testing, a lot of services that the health department provides that people aren't aware of. So I've called through all of the child care services in Bay County, and gave them the same spiel about the website and so on.
And what is the website, by the way?
Bay County Health Department.
Google Bay County, Michigan Health Department, because
okay, you might end up in California, Texas.
No, Florida.
That's true.
Florida.
Yeah.
I get calls from people in Florida complaining about rats and things like that. I can't help you there. So.
That's funny. That is funny.
But I'm contacting the churches now, and going to reach out to the townships, and we're making the rounds with the media people. And actually, it'd be, I think this Joel's first time here. It'd be a good time to have him on a regular basis, just to answer the questions. Like you had some very, very good questions that I think most people have on their mind, and so he does a very good job, very knowledgeable.
All right. Got to take a quick break. We'll be back talking to Joel Strasz, who's the health officer in Bay County for the Bay County Health Department, and Charlie Brunner, who's part-time filling in doing marketing for them. And we will be back with more after these notes.
I'm retired Army Colonel Martin Blank, and I'm a Republican running for the state Senate. I've met thousands of our neighbors during this campaign. I've listened to their stories. They're often heartbreaking. They work hard, but they're barely hanging on. They're a paycheck or two away from disaster. They're fearful for their kids' future, and nobody in Lansing is listening to them. I want you to know I'm listening. I hear you. Your story is my story. I've been knocked around by life. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. As your state senator, I may not always get it right, but I'll always try to do the right thing by you. Nobody owns me, no special interests, no PAC, no party. I'm nobody's man but yours. For 23 years, I fought for you, including tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I'll fight for you once again as your state senator. This is Martin Blank, Republican candidate for state Senate. I ask for your vote on August 2nd.
Paid for by Martin Blank for state Senate.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services. Ricky LeBlanc, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Admitted in Massachusetts only. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Members: Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Nick Neiswander, Florence, Kentucky. Rich Graybo, 970 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford, Connecticut. 860-904-7789. Michael Bo Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. Filing number LA-22-13614. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other attorneys. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson. Attention U.S. Marines. Veterans were exposed to toxic chemicals in the drinking water on Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Exposure to these chemicals increased the risk for cancer, birth defects, and other serious health problems. If you or a loved one were exposed to contaminated water on Camp Lejeune, you may be entitled to compensation. A new law gives legal rights to those harmed. It is not too late to take action. Call Sokolov Law now for a free legal consultation at 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans. So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll. Are you outdoors or are you indoors during the summer? It is summertime, a great time to be outdoors. Or is it? As a survey that we had recently showed, 53% of people don't enjoy being outdoors in the summer, preferring to stay indoors in air-conditioned comfort. Some of the reasons they think that summer can be a bummer is from feeling sweaty, to dealing with bugs, to suffering sunburn. Others say that those reasons can be dealt with and are relatively minor inconveniences for the chance to be outside. So the poll question is simple. Would you rather spend your time indoors or outdoors during summer? You can answer indoors, you can answer outdoors, you can answer about the same. I'm not going to give you the I'm not sure answer. If you cannot be sure of whether you'd be indoors or outdoors, then you've got a problem. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and please vote.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. In studio with me, the health officer from the Bay County Health Department, Joel Strasz, and also with us this morning, former mayor of Bay City and former state representative Charlie Brunner. So, Joel, let's talk just for a minute. Let's move away from the COVID discussion for a bit. Talk about some of the other services provided by the health department. For example, and I don't know how many people, maybe they do know this or not, you do the restaurant inspections, for example.
Sure. Yeah.
What kind of shape are the restaurants in these days?
They're in good shape. They're in good shape. If they're in bad shape, you'd hear about it.
Charlie's laughing.
That's a very good question.
Well, I mean, they're all short of staff and everything else.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'll talk about health-wise.
Yeah.
Economic-wise, that's not in my wheelhouse. But health-wise, they're doing very good for the limited number of staff that they have. And that's the reason, it's like we go to every sit-down or every restaurant basically twice a year at least to do an inspection. And they're unannounced. Every county has that in the state of Michigan. We don't do letter grades anymore. A lot of other states do that, but Michigan stopped doing that about 30 years ago. And you can actually access most of that information on our website too. So which is baycounty-mi.gov/health. And, but rest assured, I've seen some bad restaurants and we've had to shut a couple, not very many, but a couple down because of really bad practices. But generally, most of them are doing really good.
That is one thing. So. This country, we probably have the healthiest restaurant industry in the world, I would think.
Yeah, as far as food inspections go. And we've had a pretty long, good history with that, going all the way back to Theodore Roosevelt. So, that's, the public wouldn't stand for it otherwise, because the word gets out. Like I went to this restaurant and I got sick. But for the most part, they're all doing really well.
Let's also talk about, since it's the health department and some people relate health to going to a doctor. You don't provide medical service, do you, that way?
We do provide clinical services, and actually for a while, for about 5 years, we had a primary care clinic with Saginaw Valley State University with their nurse practitioner program, because in Bay County, much unlike Midland County and parts of Saginaw County, they're starting to have less and less medical providers, especially doctors. One of the things that, if you're out in the community, you've heard me speak before, is that the ratio of physicians to the population in Bay County at about 10 years ago was about 1 to 1,200, one physician for every 1,200 people. Now that's about 1 to 2,600. You get into really bad situations when it's 1 to 3,000.
I wouldn't think 1 to 2,400 is very good.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that, we've got percentage wise, the oldest population, or we've got more seniors percentage wise than any other county. And then we've got about 25% of the population that are on Medicaid. So doctors see that and they're like, that's not money making.
Yeah.
Insurance for me. Yeah. So we've got to come up with better solutions. And that's the one thing too, that we're working on is coming up with a community health center where, it's kind of an all-in-one shop. So people don't have to go all over.
We'll talk about that in the future because unfortunately time is gone this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's interested in getting vaccinated and getting boosters, they call you?
Call the health department, 989-895-4009. And that's the important thing is school's coming up. Right. Don't put it off until September. Okay. Do it now.
Joel, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Charlie, look forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Always nice to be here, Art.
Have a great day, both of you. Thanks for being with us today. We'll take our last break. Be back to close out.
It's back to school time, and Capoco Community Credit Union is here to help you with all you need for going back to school. Books and tuition, perhaps furniture for your dorm, or any other expenses. Keeping up with studying and exams is challenging enough. Let Capoco Community Credit Union help getting there easier with a Visa credit card with 9.9% annual percentage rate. It's easy to apply online at capoco.org, member NCUA.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
If you were lied to when buying a timeshare and worn out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995. 800-885-5995.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
All right, thanks to Joel Strasz and Charlie Brunner for being with us for this first hour. Second hour, we're going to talk to a couple of Marines, the recruiters in this area, about being a Marine and today's armed forces. All of that coming up for you. Before that, news from CBS with the national and international report. Michael Perch is in the WSGW newsroom to bring you up on the region and the state, tell you what's going on. Right after the news, we'll be back with the second hour of the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Wendy Gillette in New York. The suspect in the July 4th parade shooting outside Chicago will be in court later this morning. The alleged attack wasn't his first interaction with police, as Chris Van Cleve explains.
Highland Park, Illinois police had two previous encounters with murder suspect Robert Cremo III back in 2019. That spring, officers responded a week after a reported suicide attempt. And again in September, when a family member told police the suspect had a collection of knives and threatened to kill everyone.
Former President Trump's White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, faces a deadline today to give testimony before the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. CBS's Scott McFarland with more.
The subpoena was issued one day after last week's blockbuster testimony by former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson, who raised the stakes quite a bit when she said Cipollone had warned they'd be charged with every crime imaginable if Trump went to the Capitol January 6th. A key issue could be if he directly told the president that, and if the committee can establish Donald Trump tried to go to the Capitol anyway.
Two COVID subvariants of Omicron are spreading fast around the nation. CBS medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
The good is the vaccines clearly give dramatic protection against serious illness and hospitalization, but they don't against getting ill. And so because of that, people in the country, even if several weeks ago they had a different strain of Omicron, are getting BA5. And you're seeing numbers go up in really every city in the country.
Adesso nella congregazione dei vescovi.
Pope Francis says for the first time, women will be named to the all-male committee that chooses bishops. He told Reuters 2 women will join the committee. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson refuses to step down despite the resignations of 27 ministers and department heads. UK's Minister for Industry just resigned, as did 4 other members of the government. CBS's Roxana Saberi.
As a sign that he's not planning to step down anytime soon, Johnson swiftly appointed replacements for his departing ministers. For some here this morning, it's too little, too late.
A new bonus perk for Amazon Prime members, correspondent Jim Krasula reports.
Amazon has agreed to add Grubhub to its list of Prime services in the U.S. The deal also gives Amazon the option to acquire a small stake of the food ordering company. Under the deal, U.S. Prime members will have delivery fees waived by select restaurants.
Stocks are down right now. This is CBS News.
Find great hires fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores, where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
Country Legends, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Singer-songwriter Reese Palmer admits it's not easy being a woman of color in the country music world, but she does not regret her career choice.
I knew in the very beginning that there weren't a lot of people that looked like me, and I knew that that was going to be a mountain that I was going to have to climb. But I love the songwriting, I love the storytelling.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Live
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 70 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. State police in Iosco County are investigating a Monday motorcycle crash. Police say an 87-year-old East Tawas man was riding south on M65 near Rollway Road around 1:50 p.m. when he failed to negotiate a curve and lost control of the bike on the gravel shoulder. The motorcycle crashed into some nearby trees. The man was taken to a local hospital with critical injuries. Saginaw's bus system Strasz is holding a public hearing this week to get input from riders and others on several topics. Strasz has reduced fares to zero during the pandemic, but is proposing a reduced fare temporarily before raising them again. The proposed regular bus fare would be reduced from $1.50 to $1. Lift fares would decrease from $2.75 to $2, and monthly bus passes would decrease from $60 to $40. The public hearing will also cover system-wide service standards and changes to Strasz fixed routes. The hearing is at 3:15 p.m. this Thursday in the Strasz boardroom at 615 Johnson Street. Fixed route buses will be able to take riders who would like to attend the public hearing from their closest bus stop to the headquarters and back to the stop at no charge. Written comments can be mailed or emailed to Strasz Executive Director Glenn Steffens at the system headquarters. A suspect is wanted for stealing about $1,000 worth of returnable cans and bottles from the Saginaw area fireworks. Police say the thefts occurred 4 times over the weekend when a man driving a white Silverado single cab pickup truck took the returnables from the Saginaw area fireworks donation truck at Davenport Avenue and Warwick Street. The thefts were caught on a doorbell camera. Police say the truck has a black tonneau cover and a black bug guard on the front with aluminum wheels with raised white letters. The word Silverado is in black on the tailgate. Anyone with information about the thefts or the suspect is asked to call the Saginaw Police Department. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Summer has officially arrived. This is Sonia with Westside Decorating Center. We can help keep your homes noticeably cooler with our energy-efficient window treatments. Call our designers at 989-793-6182 for a personal consultation. Whether you want to filter the sunlight or block it out entirely, we've got the perfect style for you. Ask about our free cordless upgrades and power options. We invite you to stop in and see our updated displays today at Westside Decorating, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A marina in northern Michigan had to close over the holiday weekend after a yacht owned by actor Tim Allen leaked fuel into the water. Northport Village Marina, about 30 miles northwest of Traverse City, shut down on Sunday after around 30 gallons of diesel fuel reportedly leaked from the home improvement star's yacht. Allen says that only about 11 gallons leaked, and it happened when the fuel filter gasket broke while he was taking the vessel around Omana Bay. Allen, who grew up in Metro Detroit, says he felt uncomfortable closing the harbor down for everyone. He's responsible for the cleanup costs. A beach and playground near the marina were also closed Monday after fuel washed up onto shore. The Coast Guard is overseeing the cleanup. The marina did reopen Monday night. Many people are experiencing all that comes with summer travel season, including construction, but there's a surprising new trend happening with drivers. More and more people are deliberately driving through road closure areas and work zones. Higher travel times, especially within cone zones, are certainly frustrating, but the Road Commission for Oakland County's Craig Bryson says people are just outright disregarding the safety of work crews and themselves by driving in those spaces.
We've had people drive into, freshly poured concrete a couple of times already this year. We had somebody over at our Avon DeQuinder project go around multiple barricades where a bridge was out and literally drive into the river. Unfortunately, nobody was injured in that case, but it could have been, very serious.
Bryson says that he also has a pretty simple message for drivers. Road closed means road closed. He says, be patient and keep the roads safe for everyone. A wildfire burning in the Upper Peninsula and Schoolcraft County is expected to be contained by the end of the day today. The Crichton swamp fire that's burned more than 200 acres started Saturday afternoon in a remote area east of County Road 454. A lightning strike reportedly may have caused the fire. There have been no reports of any injuries. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy skies here for today with a high into the mid-70s, while winds out of the northeast are on 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies develop and a low around 61. Thursday, sunshine, a high of 80 degrees. Then by Friday, partial sunshine develops and a high around 78. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high of 78 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high of 82. Monday, a chance for rain showers, blend of clouds and sunshine develops, high of 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And a couple of very special guests in the studio today. We're going to talk about life in the military, the U.S. Marines in particular. We have with us this morning from the recruiting office in this region. First of all, we say good morning to Sergeant Lucas Brown. Lucas, good morning to you.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Nice to be here.
Thanks for coming in this morning. And also with us, Staff Sergeant Anthony Wurst. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How we doing?
We're doing great. So I guess the question is, how are the Marines doing these days? How long have you guys been in? Let's start with you, Lucas.
I've been in 10 years now.
10 years. What drew you to the Marine Corps?
It was actually the financial security and just being able to be paid. And then actually my buddy, he's the one that brought it up when we were in high school. And he just made it sound so darn good, And then I had to go follow up, and here I am. Love it.
Have you considered other branches? Did you consider other branches, or was the Marines first choice for you?
I always knew the Marines were the best, and I wanted to be the best, so I went for it.
Spoken like a true Marine. Staff Sergeant?
Hey, I've been in for 8.5 years. Absolutely.
What drew you to it?
Honestly, my dad always pushed me to it, and as a kid, I was always against it because I was on the outside looking in. I didn't, I wasn't really looking at the bigger picture of things until I finally peered in, started looking into the branches. The Navy was actually my first go, just because both my granddads were in the Navy. But I didn't really think the Marine Corps was up for me just because it was too high demanding and I was definitely out of shape. But once I learned more about the Marine Corps and what it represented, they focus on the individual character, the leadership aspect of it. And I'm really big into mentorship. I always look up to a lot of people, and I want to be one day, that mentor for others to look up to. That's why I joined the Marine Corps.
Yeah, and you're sort of attached to the Navy.
Yeah.
So, sort of.
The better department. No, I'm just joking.
I knew that was coming. So you guys are recruiters, but you haven't always done that. So Sergeant Brown, what did you start out at? What was your MOS?
I was avionics. I actually worked on CH-53 Echoes, and I pretty much just replaced the wiring, electrical components, helped them take off on day-to-day basis.
And you did that for how long?
About 9 years.
How much training is involved? So someone like yourself, you come into the Marine Corps from the first day at basic till the time you can say you're qualified for your job description. How long a period is that?
Well, basic, and then we go through a thing called MCT, and that's roughly about 4 months. And then from there, I go to my MOS schooling, which is just my job specialty, my occupation pretty much. And there was 2 schoolings involved. And the first one was about 8 months or so. And then the second one was also about 6. So
basically about the first 2 years of your career in the military, you're learning.
Roughly, yes. I believe it was about a year and 8 months or so.
Sergeant Horst?
My original MOS is a radio operator. So I just
really? Welcome.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely. This is supplying the communications on the field, off the field, making sure everybody can definitely stay in touch. Sometimes we get internet up out in the field using a different variety of radio systems and stuff. It's crazy. But my average, I guess it only took me for my training from beginning of boot camp until my end of my job school was about 6 months, honestly.
Oh, you were quick.
Yeah. And it varies. On the aviation side, it does take a little bit more just because, I mean, you're working with $1 million worth of equipment, especially, on aircraft, and we can't afford to have those aircraft not go up and not be productive.
So you're both in recruiting. What got you into the recruiting end of the things?
Yeah.
Well, I pretty much, I just wanted to come out here and probably change people's lives if I could, and just show them some kind of the, opportunities that they have in the Marine Corps, and just really get my name out there and just show them what it's all about, really.
And I definitely agree with Sergeant Brown. Like I said earlier, I joined the Marine Corps to be a leader, to be a mentor. I knew what the Marine Corps done for me in this past eight and a half years. I know what it could do for everybody else. So I would just love to encourage everybody just to see what it is out there,
So that leads to the question, how are you doing with recruiting? Are you finding that the young people are coming forward and want to join?
Onesies and twosies are actively just coming up and asking us. We always have to initiate the first conversation because a lot of people on first glance, they just may be too scared to come up and talk to us. I mean, we are just normal human beings. But once we start talking about the benefits, the opportunities, what it would do for them in the long run, I'm talking about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the true goals actually should mean something. Then they start their ears perk open and they start actually, okay, I should take taking this into consideration.
First, you got to get them in the office.
Yes.
So they're walking in the door?
Sometimes it does happen, yeah.
Otherwise, how do you go get them?
Otherwise, I mean, we make our phone calls, or if we're going to grab a bite to eat, walking through Walmart or something, we see somebody, we just stop and have a good conversation with them, ask them what their future is looking like for them. What have they thought about doing?
How long a stint is recruiting?
3 years.
And then you're back at your MOS?
Yes.
Or can you extend in recruiting?
You can extend on recruiting. There is an option for you to, if you love recruiting so much, you could make it your career job. So it doesn't matter if if you've only done, like myself, 8.5 years in the Marine Corps, I want to do 20 years and then retire. My entire rest of the time until I retire could be recruiting duty.
Sergeant Brown?
So for me, yeah, I mean, I got out here about a month and a half ago, so I don't have the most experience with recruiting, but coming out here and just trying to get the hang of it, I'm really actually enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying talking to these guys and just seeing what they got going on and seeing how I can change their life. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk another segment with our guests. We have Sergeant Lucas Brown and Staff Sergeant Anthony Wurst with us this morning, U.S. Marine recruiters here in the Saginaw and Thumb area. We'll talk more with them when we return.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report.
The Federal Reserve releases the minutes from its recent meeting today, offering some background on its interest rate increases. Tyson Foods is expanding in the Middle East, buying a stake in Supreme Foods Processing and ADC based in Saudi Arabia. Supreme produces chicken and beef distributed across the Middle East. You'll be able to take a cruise without a test. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings says it will no longer require pre-boarding COVID-19 testing for its guests unless required by local regulations. The company says the new policy takes effect August 1st across its Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania, and Regent Seven Seas cruises. Norwegian says the change is in line with the rest of the travel, leisure, and hospitality industry. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Big news! Greta Van Susteren is back, and she's on Newsmax. Tune into Newsmax at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight to watch The Record with Greta Van Susteren and get the real news. Plus, check out the new lineup of Rob Schmidt, Eric Bowling, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable and streaming platforms. If your cable system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them and demand it. And download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
Inflation in Michigan and the Midwest, highest in the nation. Annette Glenn is running for state senate to fight for new jobs, energy independence, to cut fuel costs, cut taxes, and drug costs. Annette Glenn, fighting for us. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state senate.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll. Are you outdoors or are you indoors during the summer? It is summertime, a great time to be outdoors. Or is it? As a survey that we had recently showed, 53% of people don't enjoy being outdoors in the summer, preferring to stay indoors in air-conditioned comfort. Some of the reasons they think that summer can be a bummer is from feeling sweaty, dealing with bugs, to suffering sunburn. Others say that those reasons can be dealt with and are relatively minor inconveniences for the chance to be outside. So the poll question is simple. Would you rather spend your time indoors or outdoors during summer? You can answer indoors, you can answer outdoors, you can answer about the same. I'm not going to give you the I'm not sure answer. If you cannot be sure of whether you'd be indoors or outdoors, then you've got a problem. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and please vote.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Fly ball, right field, fairly deep, looking up, gone! Two-run shot for Eric Haas. The bat's heating up, number 7.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. In studio with me, Staff Sergeant Anthony Wurst and Sergeant Lucas Brown, both recruiters for the United States Marine Corps. What, for young people and those interested in the Marines, I have to ask this question. What are the disqualifiers? In your background, what would you have that would disqualify you from not being a Marine?
Well, I would say right off the bat, disqualifier, any tattoos on your hands, neck, face.
Really?
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, we would definitely want to keep it professional. Our tattoo policy was the strictest for the longest time. We did kind of cut it back a little bit, make it more lenient. But yep, that's definitely one of those. Some schools we go to, we'll see kids with the tattoo right on their neck, and they tell us, we always want to be a Marine, but now you can't because they got the big old rose on their neck or something. Yep.
But yet it's commonplace for soldiers to get tattoos, isn't it? And are you restricted as to where you can get them once you're a member of the Corps?
Once you're, it's still even like still nothing on your hands, neck, or face. Everything else is just fair game. Just make sure it's not gang related, drug related, or anything. That's
That's
bad.
interesting. Never would have thought of that. I have to ask this too. What about criminal record?
Yes, absolutely. Felonies is pretty much a no-go. Even if it was like dismissed and then like bumped down, there's a lot of cases that the Marine Corps' eyes, we see that you took ownership in what you did. So, but I mean, there's still some very small amounts that we can still kind of do. Even the ones that were felonies and kind of bump down. More or less, you just contact a recruiter and ask for yourself.
What about educational qualifications?
So you need to at least have your high school diploma. We also do take GEDs. So, and if you're a junior, we can also work with you if you're on track to graduate. So that's who we usually reach out to.
All right. So you got a group of young people sitting in front of you. Why should they join the Marines?
And it's always a tough question like that because I've always looked at it as so we as Marines we want people to want to join and want to be Marines. It's the importance of the Marine Corps, and it's what makes the Marine Corps because people want to better themselves. And any branch can give you education opportunities. Go to college for free, the same exact paycheck across the board because it matters what rank you have and how long you've been in the service. We can travel and we can get you trade up, get you certified on a job that you can also utilize in the civilian world. So we focus on the character, the leadership traits, the confidence in oneself, the discipline. Because if you focus on that and make that a whole, then it doesn't matter what you do in the life, you're going to be successful no matter what you want to do. And that's what we focus on. That's what we try to tell these kids.
Do you tell them what it's like in boot camp?
Oh, I mean, yes, we do. And everybody always looks up YouTube videos about the Marine Corps boot camp. And yes, we do have the hardest boot camp, but I'm telling you, like as two of the ones here, we went through it. I mean, it was some of the funnest times I had. It was the best experience, even getting yelled at every single day.
You have a strange notion of fun, Sergeant. It is. You do have to go in with your eyes open, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what's it like in boot camp? What was it like for you?
So scary actually at first, but you kind of get the hang of it. I mean, at first you're gonna be nervous, you're gonna be scared. You're gonna meet people. Those people are gonna help you. They're gonna lead you. They're gonna guide you. You're gonna be your peers. Physical aspect of it. Obviously, there's gonna be running. There's gonna be hiking. There's gonna be swimming. Pretty much every physical aspect that you can think of, they're gonna put you through it. They're gonna challenge you, but they're gonna stick with you to get you through that challenge. And they're going to boost you up, or they're going to tear you down, and then they're going to boost you up, and then over and over again. And then towards the end of it, you're going to be a person that you never even thought you'd be. So,
did you notice the change?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I didn't even notice it until that day that I got done, and I met with my family, and they didn't even recognize me. They didn't even know who I was. It was kind of insane, the change.
Sergeant Worst, you're laughing.
No, I mean, he's absolutely right. And when we tell kids that, I always kind of get like I've been recruiting for 2.5 years. I always get like I don't know about that. Then, I don't want to change, because everybody's worried about change, but that's the only way you're going to develop in life is through change. And the change that we talk about that we notice is, it's that discipline act. You're more mature at that point.
That is, I mean, and no matter what branch of the service you're in, that discipline is drilled into you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Chain of command and all those good things. And at what point does a youngster or any recruit choose their MOS, choose what they're going to do in the service? Do you give them a list of things that you think they're qualified for, or do they come in and say, I want to be a an aviation electronics guy.
Well, so all kids, some kids who've thought about the military, they come in with, oh yeah, they've done some research. Yes, I want to do this in the military. I want to do this. But what's going to make them qualified is taking the ASVAB, which is the military test to see what jobs you're going to be better off suited in. Because if you don't score too well on mechanics, then we're not going to have you wrenching around on an aircraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're going to be found medically qualified. Once those two things are done, and they do that at the MEPS, which is the Military Entry Processing Station. Once those are completed, you come back here to our office, and we list out the jobs. We show you the jobs that you qualify for, and then we talk about them and see what you're trying to do with your life, whether it's something mechanical. All right, cool. Here's all the mechanic jobs that's going to give you the certificates that's going to help you achieve your goal through mechanics, what you're wanting to do in the long run. Or if it's something else, we have accounting jobs, supply administration that deals with warehouse, because I know there's a lot of, Amazon's getting big. So definitely needs a good leader in the warehouse through that. So I've seen a lot of things run through the desks, but they usually pick their job right before they go to boot camp.
Is it a guarantee?
Their job is guaranteed as long as they
qualify
for it, and pass boot camp and stay out of trouble.
That's pretty key in anything, though, isn't it? Staying out of trouble.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. I mean, you would think it'd be common sense, but
you would think. But particularly with all the discipline they're taught, it is pretty amazing to think about. Young men and women that come in, and let's talk about the women. We'll do that in a minute. But young men and women come in, they go through all this discipline, and then they go out and get themselves in trouble. Why? Here's their whole career in front of them.
Honestly, I mean, with that is just like, it doesn't matter what job you have, jobs in the world, just even military side, you're always going to have those hard-headed individuals that are stuck in the past, and there's no way against that. You just gotta, that's why there's, programs set in place or law set in place,
Yeah. Are there any jobs in the military, in the Marines? Let's stay with the Marines. Are there any jobs in the Marines that a woman cannot qualify for anymore?
Yeah, I don't really. I think a female can pretty much qualify for any job that a male can, if they meet the physical and educational. Absolutely,
including infantry type fighting, right?
Absolutely,
frontline fighting.
Absolutely.
Yep, we've had females go through our infantry school house and pass, and they're training, and they're working side by side with our infantrymen.
Is there an equivalent of special forces in the Marines?
Yep, absolutely. We have a recon, and then Marine recon, and we have MARSOC. Also,
and Marines can also qualify for the SEALs, can they not?
Yes, I guess anybody can, I guess, go and try for the SEALs.
That's a tough road to hoe, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, any special forces is. I mean, it's a lot harder than your basic boot camp, but oh yeah.
So where are you guys located? If folks want to, come in and chat with you or get in touch with you, let's start with you, Sergeant Brown.
So for the most part, I'm here in Saginaw, just right next to Lowe's on Tittabawassee Road here, and sometimes I'll be in Bay City, right next to Buffalo Wild Wings. My office is right next to there. So,
Sergeant Worst.
My office is located in Carroll, Michigan, right there, right in Thumb. I control I cover the entire Thumb, all 22 high schools under my belt. So
wow, you do a lot of driving.
I do. It keeps me busy, but hey, I love doing it though.
Is there a website people can go to get more information?
Marines.com.
That simple.
Yep, it is that simple. Marines.com. But we always encourage it, like I said, everybody just to reach out to your local recruiters, go on that website, fill out your information, and just explore your options. We're not asking everybody to join because, like I said, we want you to want to join. In order to see if you would want to join, you got to sit down and talk with the recruiter and just learn about it.
Yep. Well, this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you both for your service.
Thank you.
I think it's, it's not said enough. Every time I see someone in uniform, I say it to them and mean it, because you guys allow me to do what I do through what you do. And it's something that we all have to remember, is the freedoms that we enjoy in this country are given to us because of guys like you who get out there and shoulder the weapons and fight the wars and protect the rights and all of those things. And we can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the
Very,
support.
very welcome. And thanks for coming in. We'll do it sometime in the future. If you ever want to talk again, something going on, let me know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant Worth, Sergeant Brown, thank you very much from the United States Marine Corps. I asked them this question at the beginning of the show before we went on the air, but they didn't know the answer, and I don't either, but hoorah! Where it came from, I don't know. Glad to have you with us this morning. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
This is what camping sounds like when you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP. And this is what camping sounds like when you have Inspire and don't need a CPAP. If you have sleep apnea and struggle with CPAP, Inspire could work for you. Inspire works inside the body and keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show.
Uh-oh, the celebrities are turning on Joe Biden.
Why? Most of them haven't worked in 10 years anyway, so.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning, and we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111 is the number to call and join in the conversation. We would love to chat with you about whatever's on your mind. Again, the number is 989-752-6111. And we should also point out that coming up on Focus today, we're going to have a conversation with Gail Fromm from the Resource Center. We'll find out about that coming up after the 11 o'clock news. But for now, open phones for the remainder of the hour, the 15 or so minutes we have left. Once again, topping the news in the United States, another mass shooting, this one in an upscale suburb of Chicago, Highland Park, north of Chicago. A young man who, according to police, bought all his guns legally. But once again, we go into the background of this young man and find out that there were telltale signs that he had contact with the police 2 years ago, first on the possibility of attempting suicide and then threatening violence in the home. But none of that led to disqualification to purchase. And, this is where there are, let's face it, there are flaws in the system. It is a system run by humans, invented and created, if you will, by humans, and subject to the same foibles that we all suffer. We're not perfect. Things happen. And in hindsight, on almost all of these mass shootings, in hindsight, 2020, we go back and look and say, oh, yeah, this should have been a sign, this should have been a sign, this should have been a sign. But then you hear the people directly involved. And even after the incidents that this young man was involved in with police, the police did not see a disqualifying event. Those close to him did not see any signs that he would conduct himself in this manner. Sometimes there are signs. I think in the case of our Oxford High School shooter, there were more than enough signs that he was likely to create a violent act. In this particular case, they're saying, no, he didn't have any of those indications. He only had those two incidents and they were dealt with. I don't know the answer. I mean, we are a country unlike others in the world that have a constitution which gives us tons of rights, privileges and rights. We are also a country, and we have to remember this, we are a country that was born by the gun. We fought a war with England, with Great Britain to break away. And it was the gun that was the foundation of this country. And the founding fathers wanted us to be able to defend ourselves against enemies outside and within the country. And when they wrote the Second Amendment, they did not say we have the right to bear a musket. They said quite clearly that we have the right to bear arms. And court after court, decision after decision has pretty much agreed that the language is general enough to include almost all types of firearms. The ATF has a certain amount of power to be able to ban certain weapons. You can't buy a machine gun in normal circumstances. Certain items, bump stocks and things of that nature have come under fire recently. But I don't think there's a simple answer. You know, this is, first of all, we also have to come to the realization there are more guns in this country than people. 300 and some odd million people, it's estimated there are 500 million guns. And not everybody has them. So some have a lot, some have none. And that's a choice we all make. But how do we stem this tide of people who are, and I'm going to say this straight out, in my view, are mentally deranged? Because taking a gun into a crowd and just opening fire, in my world, automatically qualifies you as mentally deranged. How do we forecast these people so as to make it very difficult for them to obtain the guns they need to do the deeds they do? I'm not smart enough to have an answer. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody is. A lot of times, the government will do things simply because it feels good. Feel-good legislation. It's legislation that passes and really doesn't do much to solve the problem. But they feel good. Look, we did something. That's what's happening now. This bipartisan piece of legislation that came out of the Senate and went to the House, signed by the president, is a feel-good. It may make it slightly, ever so slightly difficult for a youngster to obtain a weapon. Now you got to be 21. But let's face it, many of the weapons used in crime are illegal to start with. They're stolen. They're sold on the black market. There's no tracing. There's no form to fill out. They're illegal. So, do the laws really do anything? I don't think so. Take a quick break, get to our calls when we come back.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
It's back to school time, and Capoco Community Credit Union is here to help you with all you need for going back to school. Books and tuition, perhaps furniture for your dorm, or any other expenses. Keeping up with studying and exams is challenging enough. Let Capoco Community Credit Union help getting there easier with a Visa credit card with 9.9% annual percentage rate. It's easy to apply online at capoco.org, member NCUA.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. It's the collectors. It's those credit cards you ran up trying to start your business. Now you found out that a DBA hurts the family and brings the pain home.
For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 750. Do you need 50,000 of corporate credit? Now you can call Ray's webinar at 800-662-3969 and get your credit score up to 750 and receive a $1,000 cash credit card within days. Call 800-662-3969.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll. Are you outdoors or are you indoors during the summer? It is summertime, a great time to be outdoors. Or is it? As a survey that we had recently showed, 53% of people don't enjoy being outdoors in the summer, preferring to stay indoors in air-conditioned comfort. Some of the reasons they think that summer can be a bummer is from feeling sweaty, dealing with bugs, to suffering sunburn. Others say that those reasons can be dealt with and are relatively minor inconveniences for the chance to be outside. So the poll question is simple. Would you rather spend your time indoors or outdoors during summer? You can answer indoors, you can answer outdoors, you can answer about the same. I'm not going to give you the I'm not sure answer. If you cannot be sure of whether you'd be indoors or outdoors, then you've got a problem. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and please vote.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and let's go to the phones. Lee is in Saginaw. Lee, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
When you're talking about signs of these people that might be getting ready to go off the deep end,
yep.
A lot of them, there are signs. If you take that Uvalde school shooter in Texas, he bullied people, he assaulted people, and at one point he was also known to abuse animals. He killed multiple cats.
Right.
Stuck them in a clear plastic trash bag and was walking around with it for giggles.
Yeah, well, it's well known that some of these shooters have exhibited behavior which should have thrown up a lot of red flags.
But I want to address this one real quick, though.
Yep.
In Texas, that's a felony. That's federal. That's animal cruelty. It's a animal cruelty charge.
Was he charged?
No, that's where I'm going. He was never charged. If he was charged and convicted, not only would he have not been able to buy those guns, he may have been in jail and not be able to do it at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. Yeah.
And the problem I see a lot is people don't want to get involved. One of the people said after seeing all this, what this guy did, he said, maybe we should have said something. Maybe, you think?
Yeah. And that is an issue. I mean, it's, we don't have to go that far from home. Just look down at Oxford. They had the kid in the principal's office. Nobody went through his backpack. His parents wouldn't take him home. Nobody did anything. And, they could have stopped it right then and there before it ever began. But they didn't.
They didn't. And you can make all the laws in the world, but if you're not willing to people aren't willing to take the basic steps on themselves, hey, listen, call the police. There's something wrong with this person. Something. The laws don't matter.
Well, that's absolutely right. Nor do they matter to somebody that's going to do to get a gun illegally. You can pass all the laws in the world, that isn't going to stop them.
No, I agree with you there.
So there are. Let's put it this way: there are holes in the system that need to be plugged up. The question is, how do you plug them up at the same time not infringing on the rights of the law-abiding citizen who wants to own a firearm, use a firearm for target practice, hunting, whatever, and for their own personal defense? It's a balancing act of trying to plug the holes, ensure the safety of the public, at the same time not infringing on the rights of Americans to own firearms.
In theory, the perfect world, I agree with red flag laws, but we don't live in a perfect world. And Matter of fact, there's a court case in Colorado here just a month or so ago where a lady got convicted of using red flag laws against somebody, trying to get their guns taken away just because she didn't like the person.
Yep. Well, but there are consequences if you misuse the law. That's proof of that. So, are red flag laws perfect? No. In most cases, do they serve a purpose? Probably. But then again, all the laws on the books don't mean anything. I mean, there's a law that says you can only do 70 miles an hour on the interstate in Michigan in certain areas. People regularly drive 75 to 80 miles an hour through those zones.
Right.
So it's the same. If you're going to disregard the law, you're going to disregard the law.
Well, back to the red flag law. If someone's not going to say something anyway, then the law would be useless.
Exactly.
Can't even put it into effect.
Yep. All right, my friend. Look, I got to run. Appreciate it.
Have a good day, Art.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Mark, we got about a minute. Go ahead real quick.
Oh, I was only going to say on the medications that are being administered to kids, the warnings on the back, the side effects are, can really major side effects. I just wonder the kids that are used as guinea pigs to try these mind-altering drugs. Once a parent loses a job,
what mind-altering drugs?
Well, if they have a behavioral problem, they put them on a medication.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, so you're talking. Yeah, I got it.
But then the side effects, if somebody loses a job and can't afford the medicine anymore, there are side effects of coming off medications if you quit cold turkey and stuff.
Yep.
That was all I was going to say on that.
All right. Hey, we'll talk about it again sometime when I have more time, but appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Take care. Bye-bye now.
See ya.
I want to talk about Krishak's House Family Restaurant. Best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Think about getting together with friends or family, lunch or dinner at the restaurant. Graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, anniversaries, the like. Krishak's has an economical way for you to supply the food. You can order it, pick it up, and have it ready for your celebration, or you can have your celebration at the restaurant. Give them a call, 989-894-5531. Krishak's House Family Restaurant, Casson, Michigan, on Bay City's South Side.
Hemlock Public School District encourages residents to become informed about the upcoming August election. There are 2 items on the ballot that will impact the school district: a non-homestead operational renewal and Saginaw ISD special education millage. Visit hemlockps.com for more information or give us a call at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today. Talk to the animals, hike, bike, or explore a museum. The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. More than 150 events taking place throughout downtown Saginaw and the riverfront area. For weekly activities, follow Saginaw Celebrate Summer on Facebook and Instagram at Arts Saginaw. Don't miss out on the fun, and for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
Where did I put that?
Pete's property manager just took an extended vacation. He needs a replacement before this becomes a cruel summer.
Oh, you wanted the lakefront for the 17th? How did this get double booked already?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Now, how cool is this? I'll use the word groovy.
Yeah, the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. This is actually the Mystery Machine from, remember the Scooby-Doo movie?
No, I don't.
20 years ago when they did a Scooby-Doo movie, this is the actual Mystery Machine from that movie.
I see.
And one of the stars of the movie, Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy, is now part of a special Airbnb opportunity where you could actually purchase a one-night stay in the Mystery Machine. How cool would that be? So this Mystery Machine includes a Sugar Ray album, portable CD player, a lava lamp,
bongos,
and a vintage TV.
Yeah, bongos, yeah. Why was Fred the only one who could drive the Mystery Machine? Shaggy ever drive?
Well, would you trust Shaggy behind the wheel?
Probably not.
Velma was probably too short.
She always lost her glasses.
Daphne at times was an airhead. I'm sorry.
So it remains a mystery.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
That'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow with lots more focus coming up. We'll talk to Gail Fromm from the Resource Center about sports programming for youngsters. All of that is ahead right after the news here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, the 21-year-old charged with killing 7 people at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, is expected to appear in court this hour to face 7 counts of first-degree murder. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve is at the courthouse.
This will be a bond hearing. We understand that he is expected to appear virtually. Probably won't be a long hearing, and we may not hear much from the suspect. We do understand that he has been talking with police, but still not clear what a motive may have been. So, this will be a pretty standard first appearance by all accounts and one of many to come. We expect prosecutors to seek that he be held without bond pending further trial.
Illinois State Police confirmed the suspect's father sponsored his son's application for a gun permit months after family members reported he threatened to kill everyone. Britain's prime minister is in a fight for his political life after dozens of resignations today from ministers and aides in his own party. It comes after an admission from Boris Johnson. He knew about previous allegations of sexual misconduct against a former cabinet member when he promoted him earlier this year.
It's absolutely true, Mr. Speaker, that it was raised with me. I greatly regret that he continued in office, and I've said that. I have said that before, Mr. Speaker.
Lawmakers investigating the January 6th attack have plans to hold another public hearing next week. The goal, says correspondent Scott McFarlane, is revealing ties between former President Trump and rioters.
This committee is ready for its next public hearing, set for Tuesday morning. CBS News has learned it'll focus on the role of domestic violent extremists and far-right groups that day.
Reports say former White House counsel Pat Cipollone will testify in a transcribed interview. The Pope takes a new step toward inclusion at the Vatican. Reporter Sabina Castelfranco from Rome.
In a highly significant shift in the Catholic Church, women will be granted a say in the appointment of bishops, which are only men. Pope Francis said he will appoint 2 women in the committee that elects bishops in the Congregation of Bishops.
By the CDC's estimates, 2 highly contagious Omicron subvariants, BA4 and BA5, now make up more than half of all new COVID cases in the U.S. But others could be here soon. CBS's Dr. David Agus.
We're seeing in India a particular new variant called BA.2.75 that actually is overtaking BA5 and seems to be even more infectious and evade immunity also in patients in India. So that worries us for a future variant.
The Dow is down 23 points. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Summer has officially arrived. This is Sonia with Westside Decorating Center. We can help keep your homes noticeably cooler with our energy-efficient window treatments. Call our designers at 989-793-6182 for a personal consultation. Whether you want to filter the sunlight or block it out entirely, we've got the perfect style for you. Ask about our free cordless upgrades and power options. We invite you to stop in and see our updated displays today at Westside Decorating, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
You ever think about how the best stuff always comes last? Like dessert, and championships, and weekends. Why do we have to wait so long for the things we love? Is this a conspiracy? At least farmers who use Sharpen herbicide as a harvest aid can skip to the best part of their season. The fastest dry down and desiccation means they get to a smooth harvest sooner. BASF, we create chemistry. Always read and follow label directions.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver packages fast and affordably so you can give your customers what they want when they need it. We're delivering for one-stop shops, mom and pops, pop-ups, startups, retail, wholesale, large scale, small biz, big box, customers, customizers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at usps.com/delivering.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 71 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Krishak. The president and CEO of Michigan Sugar Company has announced his plans to retire after 40 years in the sugar industry. Mark Flegenheimer joined the company in 1994 as vice president of administration and became president and CEO in 1998. Under his leadership, the company became a grower-owned cooperative in 2002 and merged with the Monitor Sugar Company in 2004. According to Michigan Sugar, under Flegenheimer's watch, annual sugar production has doubled from 630 million pounds to 1.2 billion. He says he's honored to follow his father's and grandfather's footsteps in the leadership of the company. Jim Ruhlman will be overseeing operations until a new CEO is selected. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has declared July as Wildlife Conservation Month in Michigan. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
The governor's declaration dedicates this month to celebrating the state's water, woods, and wildlife. Officials also wish to acknowledge the important role hunting and fishing play in conservation efforts and Michigan's economy. According to a 2019 study from the Michigan United Conservation Clubs and Michigan State University, hunting and fishing have a combined economic impact of $11.2 billion in Michigan and provide an estimated 171,000 jobs. The Michigan Wildlife Council is celebrating with a traveling Conservation Takes Flight exhibit, which will focus on the conservation efforts involved with certain Michigan bird species and their habitats. For more information, visit www.hereformioutdoors.org. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 11:07.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has ordered flags to be lowered to half staff here in Michigan to honor the victims of the shooting in Illinois. U.S. and Michigan flags within the state capitol complex and at all public buildings and grounds across the state should be lowered to half staff immediately through sunset on Saturday. The governor says Michigan mourns today with our Midwestern neighbors in Highland Park after the horrific shooting at the 4th of July parade. Our thoughts go out to the families and loved ones of those who were killed, the dozens still in the hospital, and the entire community, which has been impacted by the devastating act of violence. The Michigan Senate has unanimously approved a bipartisan plan to protect online shoppers from scams. The plan would require high-volume third-party sellers that sells products to Michigan consumers to provide identifying information to online marketplaces. State Representative Mark Tisdale sponsored the bill.
What the two bills require together is that online resellers or retailers provide specific contact information based on when they attain a certain amount of volume, either $5,000 in annual sales or $20,000. There's some additional information required.
Tisdale says the bills are meant to help consumers know who these sellers are and be able to get a hold of them if there's a problem with the product they purchase. LeVar Burton isn't happy with a Kalamazoo nonprofit that's using his name. The actor calls out Bronco's Kitchen Foundation on his Twitter account, calling it a scam that the charity established the LeVar Burton Library to provide programs and services and prompts users to make financial donations. Burton says it is not him and is not affiliated with him in any way. Bronco's Kitchen co-founder, Pastor William Stein, says the Literacy Foundation is legitimate and associated with the charity that serves free dinners to those in need. He says they did reach out to Burton, but never heard back. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Few spotty rain showers early today, otherwise cloudy skies, a high in the mid-70s. Northeast winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies develop and a low around 61. Thursday, sunshine, a high of 80 degrees. Then by Friday, partial sunshine develops and a high around 78. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high of 78 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high of 82. Monday, a chance for rain showers, blend of clouds and sunshine develops, high of 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe and affordable alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out more online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax, and remember it's spelled with 2 X's. Today we're going to learn about a sports program for young folks who may have disabilities from a center that provides disability services, and it is the resource center within that organization. And we say good morning to Gail Fromm. Gail, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Glad to be here today.
Oh, glad you're joining us. Let's start before we get into the specific program. Tell us about the Resource Center and the Disability Services. Tell us about the organization.
Happy to do that. We're located in Bay City, and we service all residents of Bay County with disabilities. And honestly, the Disability Services Resource Center was founded back in 1933.
Wow.
And so we've been around for quite the long time and have a lot of different programs that we offer to residents of Bay County.
How long have you been with them?
It'll be 3 years next month.
Very good. So I see that this is a program for all children experience sports programming. What is this all about?
Yes, this All Children Experience Sports. We actually have the acronym ACES, ACES. This is a program that we have offered since 2002, so this is our 20th year, and it's kids and young adults from the community, ages 5 to 25 and above, with disabilities. Whether it's physical or cognitive disabilities, does not matter to us. And all of the youth then are able to play softball. Our games are played here on the Northeast Little Leagues field right across the road from Disability Services Resource Center, which is located very close to the Independence Bridge. And our address is 1820 North Trumbull Drive at the corner of Woodside, if people are familiar with the area.
So how does this compare to Special Olympics, for example?
Well, for us, I mean, all the kids are able to come in and they all play. Our goal is to get the kids off of the sideline and into the game, right? So whether they physically are able to, hit the ball, catch the balls, infields, outfields, you name it, they are able to participate. and we keep throwing the ball until they hit it. And sometimes we have to have a buddy help a little bit along the way, but overall, it's the youth that are the ones that are participating. So until they hit that ball, then they run or roll to each of the bases, and they all get to score at home. And there's always a big cheer.
I have to believe this takes volunteers.
It does. Our primary set of volunteers for this really are drawn from our directors. We have a board of directors for our nonprofit, and there's 9 people on that board, but certainly volunteers from the community are welcome. We're excited to report that this year's program kicks off, or the first pitch, I should say, is going to be on Tuesday, July 26th. We have the mayor of Bay City coming in. That is also the 32nd anniversary of the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. So we are going to have a proclamation presented by the mayor of Bay City and have her throughout that first pitch. We've also invited the governor, lieutenant governor. Haven't heard back if they'll be present or not here, but we're trying to get some disability awareness out there for the entire community.
Let's talk about involvement. How does a youngster or a family of a youngster get that youngster involved in the program?
Absolutely. Our website, which is our company's initials, so it's dsrcbc.org, and out there under our various events and our programs, we've got it listed several different ways for our ACEs, our All Children Experience Sports program. So there's an online application out there they can complete and email or send that in to us, or they can just simply call us and we can walk them through the process. I'll give you the phone number. It's 989-895-5444. Any
cost?
Not to play in our ACES program, no. If the kids have their own bats and gloves and helmets, they're welcome to bring them, or we always have a few extra with us as well. And there's always some concessions, too. That's always a hit.
All right, hang on. We'll take a break here and come back. We're talking to Gail Fromm about the Resource Center and Disability Services in Bay County, and in particular, a sports program for disabled youngsters. More ahead here on the Art Lewis Show. And focus.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Is your home filled with tension and drama? Are you feeling uneasy and thinking you just want to disappear? Maybe just run away? I know how you feel. I've been there. And I want you to know there's a place to turn to for help. Help is just one phone call away. Call 866-TEEN-911 right now and you will be connected to some people who care about you and are ready to help. Don't wait. Get help today. Call 866-TEEN-911 or go to teen911.org right now.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse Summer Festival. It would normally cost you $30, but you are getting it for $15. The Vino Wine Warehouse features over 1,000 retail wine items 16 draft craft beers, a full liquor section, and a unique modern menu featuring a lot of appetizers at low Bay City prices. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll. Are you outdoors or are you indoors during the summer? It is summertime, a great time to be outdoors. Or is it? As a survey that we had recently showed, 53% of people don't enjoy being outdoors in the summer, preferring to stay indoors in air-conditioned comfort. Some of the reasons they think that summer can be a bummer is from feeling sweaty, dealing with bugs, to suffering sunburn. Others say that those reasons can be dealt with and are relatively minor inconveniences for the chance to be outside. So the poll question is simple. Would you rather spend your time indoors or outdoors during summer? You can answer indoors, you can answer outdoors, you can answer about the same. I'm not going to give you the I'm not sure answer. If you cannot be sure of whether you'd be indoors or outdoors, then you've got a problem. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and please vote.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we are back with you, talking to Gail Fromm from the Resource Center of Disability Services in Bay County. Gail, let's talk for a minute about other services. We've talked about this softball program for disabled youngsters, but when we talk about disability services in the Resource Center, that indicates to me there are a lot more things than just one, obviously. What services do you provide?
Absolutely. Let's just stick one more minute on the youth programs that we have available. And quite honestly, right now we're in the middle of our summer special needs enrichment programs. And previously, these programs were a camp type of a program run by the Y. And right before COVID hit, we were offered the opportunity to take over this program, which had been run for 39 years previously by them. We are excited that this year we've got 20 youth, boys, girls, young ladies, young men, ages 5 to 25 or more, enrolled. And they're meeting for 6 weeks here in the summer, 3 days a week for just under 4 hours each day. And their theme is who on earth, what on earth, where on earth, which is this week's theme, and the how, when, and the why. So they're learning about, the hand and the mitten and where Bay County is and all that kind of jazz. It's not too late to register to attend this. There is a cost of $525 to attend and participate in this program. And again, you can contact me directly at our phone number and we can make that happen. Additionally, and I heard one of your ads or your survey was about getting outdoors and seeing if you like it indoors or outdoors, right?
Yeah.
We have our annual Golf Scramble fundraiser because as a nonprofit, we're not, for the most part, not funded by the state and all. So we need to raise some funds. And with COVID, we took a hit the last few years with all of our fundraisers. But our fundraiser for golf is Sunday, July 17th. It kicks off, tees off, there we go, at 10 a.m. We've got registration open at 9. But we are almost filled up with our 30 spots for teams. But there are a few available. We're excited to, have them go ahead and get registered again at our website.
Where do you play?
It is at the Bay County Golf Course over in Essexville.
Great course.
It is. Title sponsor for that event is Alandel Packaging Systems, and we've got another key sponsor is SC Johnson. We have definitely always have sponsorship opportunities still available too. But again, first come, first serve on the actual golfing part of it. Deadline July 11.
I assume that a lot of the services offered are for adults.
Some of them are, definitely. A couple of the things we do have is things like personal care items. For those in need, we offer a couple of packages of different personal care items each month. But our big program that has grown through the years here is our durable medical equipment. People donate back to us medical equipment that they've used and no longer have a need for, and if it still is in good working condition, we loan it out at absolutely no cost. All that the people need is a prescription. Doctor faxes that to us. They come in, they fill out one little paper and go out with their durable medical equipment. Anything from canes and crutches to knee scooters and wheelchairs, commodes, hospital beds, Amigo type power chairs to Hoyer lifts. So we definitely have the full gamut. Right now, we've got probably over $300,000 worth of equipment on loan throughout the county.
All right, so let's again leave everybody with the website.
www.dsrcbc.org.
And the phone number?
989-895-5444.
Still time to register for the youth softball?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Prefer by July 12th. And if anyone wants to get some volunteer time in to help with that, that's an option. And tomorrow night, we've got some yard cleanup going on here at Disability Services from 5:30 to 7:30. Always welcome to have an extra hand and a shovel and a hoe.
And what's your address again?
1820 North Trumbull, Trumbull Drive in Bay City.
Well, Gail, thanks for being with us today, and let's plan on doing this again down the road.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time, Art.
You bet. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Gail Fromm from the Resource Center, Disability Services Resource Center. And we will be back to close out and find out what's happening in the marketplace at Baird & Company in just a moment or two.
The 2022 Cool City Car Show, supporting the local American Cancer Society, is the car show in the Great Lakes Bay region. They've raised over $330,000 for the American Cancer Society since 1995. Cool City Car Show kicks off 2 days of fun for all ages that's free to the public. Friday, July 8th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Cars will be cruising through the streets of Essexville and Bay City, concluding at the Midland Street Business District. Visit your favorite local bar and restaurant to see all the cool cars. On Saturday, July 9th, the cars, trucks, and motorcycles will be displayed on the streets of historic downtown Bay City. Saturday, bring the family for free fun activities, contests, automotive vendors, food vendors, and regular merchants, which all make for a great summer day. With over 400 vehicles and over 5,000 people attending in years past, the Cool City Car Show has become a huge success in the Great Lakes Bay region. Get all the info on times and events online at coolcitycarshow.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's back to school time, and Capocco Community Credit Union is here to help you with all you need for going back to school. Books and tuition, perhaps furniture for your dorm, or any other expenses. Keeping up with studying and exams is challenging enough. Let Capocco Community Credit Union help getting there easier with a Visa credit card with 9.9% annual percentage rate. It's easy to apply online at capocco.org, member NCUA.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show.
The celebrities are turning on Joe Biden.
Why?
Most of them haven't worked in 10 years anyway, so.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And that'll do it for Focus today, brought to you by RoofMax. You can find out